What's up everyone, it's TyranitarTube, and you know how when the new games come out and we get all these leaks and everyone's talking about the latest things and what could be there for the future of Pokemon? Well, what if we took a time machine back to the year 2005 and saw the way the world looked then, to see the leaks that were happening back then for the new games, to see what people were speculating about the future and the leaks themselves. How did people react to them? This is a time period before Diamond and Pearl came out in 2006. I've done some mad research for this, so let me see if I can give you guys the experience. So before I got into Diamond and Pearl, in 2004 and 5 is when they actually revealed the concept for the Nintendo DS. I'd like you to just hear this.
On your own. But what if your friend is more than a few feet away? Say, a few time zones away. No problem.
Look how crazy the crowd is for Wi-Fi compatible. So yes, in 2004, the DS is revealed by Reggie himself.
All of those innovations changed games.
Nintendo invents the D-pad. There's our best boy Iwata. Touchscreen gaming, D-pad, fun stuff. Innovators, this stuff was never a thing. The only other thing they talk about Pokemon related in these 2004 conferences is...
Now, as you're all aware, Pokemon has again taken the market by storm in Japan with the new Fire Red and Leaf Green editions. They sold through nearly 2.5 million copies in less than 15 weeks. But there's a brand new kind of appeal here too. The ability to trade your Pokemon with your friends using the Game Boy Advance wireless adapter.
There are gamers out there who aren't as knowledgeable as you. Gamers who aren't your age. Gamers who don't have your tastes. Gamers who live for Mario and Pokemon. It's my job, it's Nintendo's job, to make sure we satisfy all the gamers and to do it better than our competition.
And Masada, you hear that? Is this Reggie from the future?
Game Boy never would have built its initial audience, never would have leapfrogged into the sales stratosphere without Pokemon. These are games that launched only on Game Boy. Sony, just like Nokia and others, have to find a killer application before they can truly appeal to the mass market. So bottom line, Game Boy set an all-time record last year. We sold through more systems than any other year in our history.
Just to give you another reminder, Pokemon, how important Pokemon is in carrying Nintendo.
The Pokemon returns to GameCube in a major way, with the impending launch of Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. This game embarks on a whole new adventure, a full-fledged RPG. A dark and sinister plot sets a serious tone for this mega adventure. But that's just as it should be, because Pokemon is serious business. With over 140 million units sold worldwide, and the recent release of Pokemon Emerald heading straight to the top of the sales charts. Players can look forward to bringing their Emerald and other Game Boy Advance battles to the big screen in 3D by connecting to Pokemon XD when it launches in October.
The ambition for 3D, even though it's still 2005. But you heard it from him. Pokemon is serious business.
In only a week, you'll be playing an all-new Mario game. The Pokemon are coming too. In Pokemon Blue Mystery Dungeon for the DS, and a companion Red Mystery Dungeon for the Game Boy. You don't play with the Pokemon, you are the Pokemon.
That's sadly the only mention of Pokemon in this conference. So where was Diamond and Pearl? Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were announced in another Japanese press conference. Unfortunately, I've searched for hours and that conference, there's no footage of it anywhere. But what I can show you
神と言い伝えられるポケモンを求めて新たな冒険が始まる。任天堂 DS ポケットモンスターダイヤモンドとパール。
Could you imagine living in the current world and this trailer drop? To see brand new Pokemon, to see these two Pokemon emerging from jewels, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. This trailer will one day soon be relived in the next year. Now to dig into the way the world responded to this and leaks for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. The birth of Diamond and Pearl lies on the 7th of October, 2004. In a Japanese Nintendo press conference about the new DS's launch in Japan, they announced Pokemon Dash, as well as the news that titles called Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl are in development for this new system. Pokemon Dash coming out at the end of 2004, while Diamond and Pearl is just a mystery for many years in the future. These names would be all we would know about the games for a long time. A week later, Ishihara says that we've started the development of the Nintendo DS Pokemon Diamond and Pearl as the true successor to these games. They will be the definitive entries in this series, so please look forward to them. In December of 2004, right at the end of the year, Masuda says that he will make sure he places all his power into the development of these first DS entries into the mainline games. Then half a year passes into July of 2005, where finally more news spreads about these mysterious titles, and Nintendo says that Diamond and Pearl, which were supposed to come out in 2005, are instead going to come out in 2006. That's right, they delayed the game to make it better. Delayed game is eventually good, rushed game is forever bad. And while that last update came out in July of 2005, a full year would pass to June of 2006 before the true hype season of Diamond and Pearl would begin. Diamond and Pearl's official release date in Japan, where everyone went wild, is September 28th, 2006. So let's build up to that event. Pokemon Wonderland is a Japanese Pokemon magazine. On the cover of early 2006, they showed Manaphy for the upcoming movie. And then, now officially entering Diamond and Pearl's hype season, on the cover is the first time we see these two mysterious Pokemon, which we know is Dialga on the left and Poké on the right. Their heads were showing. And then, after 2 long weeks of waiting, the full name of them finally surfaces. The space-ruling Pokemon, Parukia, and the time-ruling Pokemon, Dialga. This is what officially kickstarted the Diamond and Pearl hype season. Let's see how the internet reacted to this. I want you guys to think. What do you guys think the internet's reaction is to this? Here's the post that reveals all of it, and let's see what the fan base says. Parukia in Pearl with the ability to distort space, Dialga in Diamond, which has the ability to control time. A new anime season called Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is coming this fall. Major hype season. First post.
Such uninspired bull.
Give it up for the ever-existing image of a Pokemon fan. It's quite mad, isn't it, to be calling them such uninspired BS, and then now in 2020 they're like,
why can't they go back to Diamond and Pearl? They had so much inspiration there. Such uninspired BS.
Well, let's backtrack a bit to the fun the community had. So here are sites reporting on how they covered Mystery Dungeon in that E3 2006 presentation. The phantom names Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were known at this time. They float around from the depths of the internet, but we had no information on them. And then the day after, Koro comes through. Here we go, the first scans ever about the mystical names Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. After more than a year of this name being floating around, leaks finally show up. Check it out. The male protagonist on the left, the female protagonist on the right, and a screenshot of the games. This is the first time people saw these. You can imagine how crazy they'd go, because these games look 3D compared to Emerald. They're not really 3D, but they feel lifted up. To me, it felt like it was 3D. Emerald was the last game before this, and now everything's standing up. People deciphered the crap out of this. The starting home, the new Pokemon Center look. These graphics were beautiful. But Koro gave us 2 more pages. A page of a Pokemon called Munchlax, which we actually knew at the time because of the 2004 Rayquaza Deoxys movie. So people knew Munchlax existed. But what is this mysterious Pokemon on the left? This is mad, isn't it? Ruby and Sapphire didn't introduce evolutions. This is the first time a fan sees a Pokemon and they know that's not Sneasel. Flip the page and it's revealed. Sneasel has an evolution. It's the same feeling we got 16 years later seeing Obstagoon, the evolution of Lanoon. This was the last time this really happened. Sylveon was the only new evolution for an older Pokemon. A new Pokemon called Manula was revealed on the right, which is the Japanese name for Weavile. Just looking at the scan, it looks like a fake scan. It just doesn't seem believable these Pokemon are real. So you can imagine how people are believing fake scans. Fire Red, Leaf Green, Emerald, Sapphire, and Ruby all can do something with Diamond and Pearl. The scan does list that Diamond and Pearl are coming out later this year in fall, and says that this region that you're seeing in the screenshots is called the Shino region, and that's Futaba Town. This is mad hype season. It's coming out in just months and we're getting these scans. About 3 weeks later, we get the English name of Manula and it's called Weavile. Enter June. This is the prequel to the Pokemon Wonderland cover. It's June 2nd right now, and they say that on July 15th, Pokemon Wonderland will reveal some information about the new Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, as well as the new movie. But of course, CoroCoro is a monthly magazine, and the June edition drops. They reveal that Manaphy is genderless, that the Sinnoh region is based on Hokkaido, which is this part of Japan, which is kind of noticeable now. And then approaching the end of the month, CoroCoro hypes up that the next edition will give you some bangers. Remember, that Pokemon Wonderland cover hasn't come out yet, so no one knows what the legendaries of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl even look like. So the big speculation was that they would be revealed. And that brings us to where I showed you the Pokemon Wonderland cover. It finally comes out, it's leaked early, and people get to see the first look at what they would call the Diamond Legendary and the Pearl Legendary. This was a big moment for Pokemon fans. A lot of people were speculating what the rest of them look like, but I'll read out some of people's reactions. This was unexpected. You're telling me. Looks like we've been Lugiafied again. Only these two have more of a lighty feel to them. I smell legendary dragons. They don't have eyes, which is unusual. The Pearl Legendary looks like a Nautilus to me. People thought Palkia looked like this. I guess the covers of the games are going to be blue for Diamond and white for Pearl. Weird cover legendaries. Looks like something a Power Ranger should be riding in. Sick. The two legendaries, which are maybe the signature ones of Diamond and Pearl, look rather robot-like, which makes them steel types maybe? The legendaries remind me of the eagle and wolf pair that is done, which is a little valid. The other one, probably for the Diamond cover, looks like a horse. They thought Dialga was a horse. I think the two large Pokemon will be the game's cover Pokemon. They also seem to be version exclusive like Kyogre and Groudon. Well, this dude's a genius. I never thought someone would figure that out. I'm a bit disappointed with them. They're kind of ugly. On the cover, it shows Pachirisu, Cherrim, so people are looking at them and wondering if those were the starter Pokemon, which is just hilarious. They're losing their minds over it. I don't want to be rude, but they look a little like Digimon. Probably creators didn't have a better idea, so they created Pokemon like those. Bulbapedia says Diamond is Tayagaga, while Pearl is Ruhakia. It's close. They're slowly unmasking the words over the next few days. They're cute enough to be starter Pokemon. If they are like that, then the appearance winner is the middle one for me. The one on the left doesn't look much like a grass type though. It's Drapion, guys. So the picture they saw was a lot worse quality than this. So they just saw a sort of purple blurb, a pink blurb, and like a whitish blue blur. So they thought those were the starters. I thought there could be two more Plusle and Minans called Time Sort and Divide. They could all have one pre-evolution called Equalus. About a week of speculating passes until AM3, who is apparently a video maker for the Nintendo DS, leaks the covers, the full box arts of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, as well as the release date of September 28 before deleting it. And people finally get a full look at these two legendaries. And this is what has everyone going crazy, because on the same day, Yahoo Japan Kids showed some video of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl for the first time, showing the character walking through Masago Town, as well as going to Route 219. But for the first time, people could hear the music in the background, which had people going crazy in the forums. So as you can see, all the links are dead that used to cover these news. And this brings us to when they finally revealed their names as Palkia, the Space Ruler, and Dialga, the Time Ruler. It's funny, CoroCoro also tries to hype up that the anime series will feature the female protagonists from the games. And then it's just hype season. CoroCoro will show you silhouettes, we try to unmask them. They show you this Pokemon that we speculate resembles Electabuzz. It's unbelievable. And the full Sinnoh map. A few days later, this kind of conference happened with battle director Shigeki Morimoto, head developer Masuda, and art director Ken Sugimori. Masuda says Sinnoh will have a large underground world. Battle director Morimoto tries to explain that Thunder Punch will now be a physical attack. The battle system will be changed dramatically. It's funny, there is this girl in the staff conference that tried to suggest that the Sinnoh starters would be fighting, psychic, and dark types. I don't think she knew. She was speculating herself, but they threw people off with that. Meanwhile, people try to get in on the action and make fake Pokemon leaks. This is one of them where they just made fake Pokemon cards of Piplup, Chimchar, and Turtwig. But what's this? It seems to be this kind of electric Pokemon. If YouTube was this popular back then, it'd be in the headlights. Brand new Pokemon leaked. But it turned out the cards are fake. On this last month, CoroCoro leaks a bunch of Pokemon. The new fossils, introducing Team Galactic and Mars for the first time, and a screenshot of that legendary town in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl with the Palkia and Dialga drawn on them. And they reveal here that they are Water Dragon and Steel Dragon. This is the last month of hype as the games come out in like 2 weeks. And this is when review copies start coming out, and 4 people from Famitsu who got it early review it. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and 9 out of 10. Which is higher than Ruby and Sapphire. And then the rest is history. There were fake leaks everywhere during this time. There was this one of, I don't even know what that was supposed to be. I guess it's the final evolution of Turtwig. It looks like a person. That got a lot of people. Here's another one called Yacho Yaisu. In August, the month before it was gonna come out, people were hyping the evolution of Pochama, who is also Piplup. So they thought this would be the center stage Pokemon. And then we have one of Hikozaru, which is Chimchar, called Tenzaru. It looks good enough to me. There weren't many fake scans back then, and the days went by really slowly. So people would look at these scans again and again, knowing they're fake, just like playing out what if possibilities in their head. Nowadays, there's fake scans everywhere. This had people's minds filled with creativity. There's also this thing, which was supposed to be the final evolution of Piplup or Pochama. It just appeared in forums one day back then, and the person who posted it said it came from a Japanese site before it was deleted. And so no one could disprove it until the games came out, and that's not Empoleon. There's of course this one which I showed you earlier. It's called Kisanda, and I think people figured it out. It was fake right away because the copyright dates at the bottom were wrong. There's this one. I don't blame them for this. So of course, Lucario, Manaphy were Pokemon just showing out in the front for the anime side and the movie side. So people saw Lucario and knew it had to evolve from something. It's a level 3 unknown Lucario pre-evolution in the grass. How could you diminish Lucario by saying you can find his Rattata pre-evolution in Route 1? So I think with a scan like this, what they did is they used Photoshop to try their best to erase the background. So people who look closely at it, like I'll do it right now. If you just mess with the photo bit, you can see how bad it is around the Pokemon that they tried to erase and put baby dog Riolu there. But it's early Photoshop days, so I don't blame them. So you can definitely tell the photo's been tampered with. There's of course this one called Aobasu Basu. So yeah, they thought he was an evolution of
Natoru,
which is Turtwig. Could you imagine all these people saying this is such an uninspired game? And then they expect this to win people's hearts. Come on guys, look, this is Turtwig's final evolution. This came from the same kind of fan who's complaining about the games. This is what I want Turtwig to look like when he grows up. So what's funny about this is that people can tell his name is too long to fit, and that his image is too big to fit, and that it has to be fake. So before the starters are revealed, there is this. Really brings out the creativity in people, huh? A fire, water, and grass starter. So the reason that these Pokemon were shown is because, remember I said that one staff girl, she looked at the starters, not showing them to the screen, and said, I wonder if they're psychic, dark, and fighting types. So these are not grass, fire, water starters. They're dark, fighting, and psychic starters. And then there's this Pokemon which it wasn't even meant to evolve from anything. They just thought it would appear in the wild. The reason you can tell it's fake is because he just opened up Fire Red and Leaf Green sprites, gave a Pokemon Vaporeon's tail and Lantern's head, and yeah, freaking Crobat's wings as legs. He must have got the ears from me. It's just a combination of other Pokemon. All of these leaks came out in like August to July, because that was the peak of the hype season and also the last 2 months before the games came out. Here's another 3 of the starters. The fire starter's kind of on point. That's Chimchar pretty much. And they didn't see what Chimchar looked like. And the water starter kind of looks like a penguin. And the grass starter's on all 4s. You weren't totally wrong. The real starters were leaked on August 5th of 2006, showing off that it is a grass, fire, and water starter. One of the most memorable comments from the forums is someone saying, that monkey has fire coming out of its ass. This could be the first Pokemon game in which I pass on the fire starter. God, that's so underwhelming. Is there anything in this game that couldn't be done on GBA? Like seriously, graphically speaking and gameplay wise. You sound like a Pokemon fan looking at the Switch. Couldn't tell the difference. Here's another set of starters thinking they're psychic, fighting, and dark. He looks like a gingerbread man, but he looks kind of cool in the middle. He looks like he'd be like a rock fighting type. And then there's this one. So the idea was that, just like that weird Electabuzz evolution we saw, this is what Magmar's evolution looks like. And I don't even see the difference. It's just like Magmar looking up. And then from like the one fake scan from those days is this silhouette, which is thought to be a Lickitung evolution, which they did get that right. There is a Lickitung evolution. And then another one of a new Deoxys form for Generation 4. And then if you're okay seeing an Abomination, Pokemon Platinum is the next thing that was a fun season because there was 2 years of absence after September of 2006 with no new game Pokemon news. And then suddenly in mid-2008, Pokemon Platinum starts to appear on the internet. Imagine everyone's reactions to seeing that platinum Giratina for the first time and seeing the distortion world for the first time. That's what I want to look into. And if I find enough cool stuff, I'll make a video on it. Shank that like button. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.
Bitch, I'm the man. Give me my spot on that throne. They didn't want me to grow. They didn't know I would make all of them go. I did it all on my own. Man, what was you? When I was trapped in my zone, never had nothing to own. Now it's all good. All of that frontin' is gone. I'm out here stunning for show. Bitch, I'm a pro.